Right in the middle of Pride Month, it's become a chance for everyone to look back on the progress made within the LGBTQ community and where society can go from here. Dr. Perry Halkitis from Rutgers University is the author of the new book, Out in Time. This book looks at the history of the LGBTQ movement and the biggest problems facing this community. And Dr. Halkitis joins us now. Perry, thank you so much for coming in to talk about your book and that sort of thing. Now, the book starts with the Stonewall Uprising.
Correct.
And I guess that was intentional because this scene is sort of like the fight for civil rights begins for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, so I think so for like a decade or so before that, there had been little uprisings here and there throughout the United States, you know, in LA and major cities, but Stonewall was the big one and is the demarcation point of the LGBTQ rights movement in the United States.
Now, during the course of your career, as an academic and as a research for this book, you've taken on some pretty weighty looks at mental health and physical health of the LGBTQ community in our country. Have you seen any trends? Have you seen anything that really kind of stood out to you in that time?
Yeah, so I think that the LGBTQ people have health disparities, health issues that are different from the heterosexual population.
Yes.
In part, they're triggered by the stigma and discrimination that LGBTQ people face. Those issues are, the two biggest ones I see are mental health issues like depression and anxiety and PTSD, and substance use issues. And those are the ones that are most challenging in keeping the population as healthy as possible.
What's the biggest challenge, do you think, in being able to reverse that, to correct those kinds of shortcomings?
So we think that people just behave in that way out of context, but in fact people navigate families and communities and cities and countries. And so we can continue to target behaviors, but we also need to enact laws and policies that stop discriminating against LGBTQ people, and their health will ultimately get better. There's enough research out there to show us that that's true.
Now, there was a campaign recently, it was targeted toward youth. LGBTQ youth, essentially saying, hold on, it gets better. Does it get better?
It gets better. It's still not great. You know, it's gotten better over the last 50 years. It gets better as it's older. For me, as a 56-year-old man, it was better than it was at 18. Still, as an older man, I still face aggressions on a daily basis. You know, I still turn on the news and see politicians attacking my population, and that never gets any easier.
And that brings up the question. A lot of people will look at it as an LGBTQ problem, but it's really a community problem in addressing the kinds of shortcomings you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's our problem of our society. Like when we think about any marginalized group, be it African Americans or immigrants or LGBTQ people, we have to like put everybody on an equal playing field and stop. What I write about in the book is stop othering people. The minute you other, you make people suffer.
Would that be the thing that we can all do today that would help make things better?
I would say that the biggest lesson for Pride this year for everybody is just to love your LGBTQ brothers and sisters, just like my parents did when I told them. What their reaction was, they just loved me.
All right. Does your study continue beyond the book?
My studies will continue for years and years to come. There's a lot of work to be done still.
All right, and I assume that it's available at Amazon and those kinds of outlets?
Yeah, the book is available on Amazon. It's an easy read. It's like 15 life stories, and you'll get to see men from ages 19 to 78 and what their struggles have been throughout the course of their lives.
All right, Perry Halkitis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in and talking about your book.
I appreciate it.